everybody, it's me, MiaFran again. Welcome back to my channel, and to day number 7. Sorry, day number 7 of the 12 days of anime. So, I'm actually doing day 7 and 8 on the same day because I just got really busy yesterday. So, day 7 and 8 are going to be on the same day. I'm sorry if that is, like, if that messes you up, but, you know, once the 12 days are over, it doesn't really matter. It's all going to be in the same playlist anyway. But today, as you can see, we are doing an updated HUSBANDO bracket because about almost a year ago, I think in January of last year, of 2020, or January of this year, I did a HUSBANDO bracket, my first HUSBANDO bracket, and this year we're going to do it again for 12 days of anime. So 2020 has brought me so many new HUSBANDOs, so many new wonderful 2D boys, men, that I just love and absolutely simp over. So, I kind of brought in some old names from the previous HUSBANDO bracket and some new ones, clearly, for the new HUSBANDO bracket. So we're gonna see if, you know, it stays the same, or if we come out with a new HUSBANDO. So last HUSBANDO bracket, my lovely sweet boy Kiro won the entire HUSBANDO bracket, and so he's back to defend his title of my #1 HUSBANDO. Now there's some good contenders in here that Kiro might face against that might beat him. I don't know. We're gonna find out. But let's just go ahead and start. I have a random number generator. I have 16 HUSBANDOs again, like last time, and I randomly generated numbers to give them, so they're all randomly generated numbers, and I'm going to randomly generate who is going to go up against who right now. So we're going to start off with the first person in here. Number 1, of course, is going to be Lucifer from Obey Me. And he is going to be going up against... Oh, it's Tokia. Oh, man. Alright. So, it's Lucifer versus Tokia. Now, this is definitely a tough decision. Right off the bat. This list is not giving me a chance to really, kind of think it over. It's Lucifer versus Tokia. I love both of them dearly to death, but in terms of whose game am I enjoying more these days, it's gotta be Obey Me. I'm definitely enjoying Obey Me more than Shining Live. Not to say that I'm not playing Shining Live, because I am. I am playing Shining Live. I've just been saving prisms like crazy. I haven't really been participating in the past few events just because I want to save prisms, and I'm waiting for like the next Tokia UR, whether it's an event UR or a box UR, because I'm just trying to not pull as often, save my prisms for, you know, cards I really, really want. And, because, you know, the SRs get added and the URs get added later on in the game anyway, so you have another chance to get them. So I'm trying to play that way instead. Trying to be more free to play with Shining Live lately, just because I quit my job, so I don't really have money to put into the game as of right now. And then Obey Me, same thing. I'm trying not to spend any money on it because it really takes a toll on you. So if I miss a Lucifer card, then, you know, I miss a Lucifer card, and, well, that breaks my heart. I love that if it's an event card, I can still play the event as many times as I want until I get the card. So that's what I really like about Obey Me. I wish Utapri would do that too. I mean, technically they do with exchanging bangles, but I don't like that the bangles reset every single month, whereas in Obey Me, you can start off from where you left off the last time in the event. So if you got all the way up to like part 2 of the event and it ended, once they bring it back in the revival section, I can start from that place where I left off. Whereas with the bangles, I have to exchange my bangles within the month or it resets all over again. And then I have to start saving again. And that just kind of annoys me in terms of Shining Live. Like, I still love Shining Live, obviously. I'm still playing the game. Still one of my favorite mobile games, but in terms of who has been gracing me with more of their presence and love, it's definitely Lucifer. And while Tokia, I love Tokia, obviously. I still love him. Of course, I love him dearly. One of my #1 HUSBANDOs. I'm gonna have to give it to Lucifer on this one. Just because it's a new love. We're still learning about each other. But I do love him very, very much, and I do love Utopia. But I'm gonna have to pick Lucifer for this one. Next up, we have Season 4 Eden from Attack on Titan, because he got like daddy levels hot now. So we've got Eden from Season 4 of Attack on, specifically Season 4 Eden. We're going on based off of looks here for this. And he is going up against number 10, which is Diavolo from Obey Me. So I did put 2 Obey Me boys in here because I simp as hard for Diavolo as much as I do for Lucifer. So if they end up possibly going up against each other, I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, so we've got Season 4 Eden versus Diavolo. Now, this is honestly more based off of looks, at least for this round, than anything else. Because we just started to get to know Diavolo in the game, because they finally added the, like, side characters so that you can, like, raise your bond with them. Like, they're now not undateables anymore, they're dateable now. So we're still getting to learn and get to know Diavolo a little bit better. So we're just going to base it solely off of looks. Now, they both have distinct looks about them. Like, Diavolo's demon form is probably one of the most sexy things I've ever seen on a screen in my life. Like, he's really muscular, massive pecs, so nice big anime man titties. I want to lie my head on his chest so bad. It looks very soft, but also very firm. So, yeah, I love his demon form. I just think it's really cool. I like that he's the only one that wears red for his, like, rad student uniform, and everyone else wears black. And he's, like, the next, like, ruler of Devildom. Like, if you get to be with him, like, basically you'll become the queen or whatever. Like, that's pretty fucking cool. Now, with Season 4 Eden, again, it's based solely on looks. He's not a baby man, you know, little child anymore. Not that he was specific. How old are they supposed to be in this time skip? I need to learn this first. Alright, he's 19. He's legal, okay? He's of legal age. So he's an adult. He's 19 years old. He looks good for 19. Like, damn. He's got that, like... I mean, to be fair, he's seen the atrocities of war, but so has Diavolo. They're both war veterans, technically. They've seen the atrocities of war. Like, Eden can turn into a Titan, which is pretty cool. Like, you know... I can't wait to see that in Season 4. He's got the long hair, which I really like. I like when my anime characters have longer hair, or long-ish hair that they can kind of, like, tie up in the back. I think it looks really nice, really cool. It's iffy on real guys, but on anime characters, it always looks really good, I think. Depending, like, it really depends on, like, real guys. I feel like it depends on your face structure, your bone structure, to see if it looks good or not. If you have good, like, if you have long hair and it looks good, tied up, maybe not on, like, a ponytail like this, but, like, you know how Eden has, like a little man bun. I feel like anime characters, in terms of guys with man buns, I feel like anime characters can pull that off way better than real guys can, most of the time. So, yeah, that's a plus. I like that in Season 4 they're kind of like infiltrating like the Marleyan military, basically, and we're slowly seeing what's happening with Eden and the crew, the squad, the gang. I like, just from those like promotional still images alone, it's like, whoa, like I want to know what's happening there. I definitely want to know what's happening there. So I guess it just means, it's just like in terms of who looks better to me, like who do I want to be with physically more, between these two, because again, I think they're very similar in terms of like, they've seen atrocities of war, as like I said 5 million times. They're both now Eden's like, you know, pretty muscular, tough, whatever. But Eden is kind of like very standoffish at this point. I don't think like love is really in his kind of like range of thoughts right now. Whereas Diavolo, I mean, he's just a student council president. Like, he can kind of do what he wants. Like, he does the student council work and stuff. That's really like what kind of takes up all his time. but he still has time to have tea with you and likes to invite you to the castle. And, you know, he definitely, I definitely feel like he also is a demon that really likes the MC in Obey Me, you know, has a crush. So with that said, I love Eden. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen in season 4 with him. But again, I don't think he really cares about living much longer in terms of like to have a relationship and a family, especially after all this shit that he's gone through. So I'm gonna have to say we're gonna go with Diavolo on this one. But I am excited to see what Eden can bring to the table, what's going to happen with Season 4 of Attack on Titan. But yeah, we're going to go with Diablo on this one. Alright, next up, Asahi, the Timeskip Asahi from Gyu from Demon Slayer. We've got quiet, sweet, soft boy Asahi, still the same, you know, personality and everything, except he's now Timeskip Asahi, so he's 23 years old in the Timeskip. Oh, spoilers, by the way, for Haikyuu's manga ending. But Asahi is now a fashion designer. That's pretty fucking cool. And then we got versus Gyu from Demon Slayer, you know, quiet, stoic boy who can, like, kill, you know, a bunch of demons in, like, 5 seconds. Good swordsman. And he helped out Tanjiro and Nezuko. Like, he was gonna kill Nezuko. And then decided, like, you know what, this kid, he definitely has what it takes to possibly become a demon slayer. So I'm gonna take him to that old man that can train him. Or whatever. And, so, a battle of, like, the quiet boys. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so like I mentioned, so Asahi in the Timeskip is now, they're like out of college, at least the third years are out of college, and they all have jobs. So Asahi, again, he's a fashion designer. Like, how cool is that? You never thought he would become like a fashion designer. He's still got the long hair, except this not normally, you know, it was usually in a man bun in high school, but now it's just like long, flowy, and down, and he looks really cute. Love it. I love that he is still like super close with Suga and Daichi, and they're all there to, you know, watch their Kohai play again, you know, on their like college level teams and stuff. I just it's so cute. It's just so cute. I really hope we get to see that not super soon, obviously. I don't want it to end that soon anime-wise, but I can't wait to see, like, Timeskip Asahi, like, animated, because he's really, I think he's gonna look really cute. And, you know, he's got a stable job, he's a fashion designer. You know, we could definitely, I like to think of, like, we could be together, because, hey, I could be the foreign model wife, the, like, foreign plus-size model wife. Like, how interesting would that be? That would be pretty fucking cool. He's also, you know, he's still a sweetheart. I feel like he would still, you know, be a good ace, kick some fucking ass probably on the court. Man, I don't know if he still practices or not. If he still plays, like, recreationally. There you go. I couldn't think of the term. I don't know if he still plays recreationally, but I feel like he definitely would if he really had the time. I mean, he's a fashion designer. He probably has time to play some like, volleyball with, you know, some friends or some shit. I don't know. Versus Gyu. I mean, again, Gyu has a stable job. You know, he's one of the, like, top demon slayer guys in the group or whatever. I forgot what they're called. And, like, you know, he's good at what he does. Like, you know, he's not a jerk per se. He's just very, like, serious. So, like, you know, at the end of, like, season 1 of Demon Slayer, like, you know, Tanjiro is basically like, oh, thank you, like, I appreciate you, like, helping me and stuff, and Gyu's just kind of like, yeah, well, I'm glad you could, you know, do that, so, you know, that's cool, man. But, I mean, he would definitely save you from a bunch of demons, you know? I don't know if I'd want to be in that situation, because I could turn into a demon and then he would have to kill me. That would not be fun. So, you know, his job is stable, I guess, you know, as long as there's still demons in the world. But I feel like Asahi's is more realistically stable, because everyone's still gonna need, you know, everyone's gonna need clothes, like, trends are still gonna happen, he's still gonna, like, you know, be a, you know, probably make a name for himself in the fashion world and stuff. And, you know, that also gives him the chance to travel the world, which I think is really cool. You know, I would love to go traveling with my significant other, all over the world. And especially if he was a fashion designer, that means you get to, like, you know, go to all these really cool, fancy, expensive places that you normally wouldn't go to. So, for that reason, and because I want to stay alive, shit, I'm gonna pick Asahi. Timeskip Asahi. So we're gonna pick Asahi here. Next up, we've got, who's number 8? Ichido Yamada from Hypnosis Mic, specifically the Buster Bros, the leader of the Buster Bros, Ichido, versus, okay, we just did that number, who's number 2? Zen from Mystic Messenger. Oh no. Alright, so now we've got Ichido from Hypnosis Mic versus Zen from Mystic Messenger. Now, you guys know, Zen is definitely one of my favorite top tier husbandos that I love with all my heart. But, you know, Ichido also has kind of like snuck his little way into my heart as well. You know, he's a good brother. He definitely has got a good flow with his raps. I've really enjoyed the episodes with the Buster Bros in terms of, like, all the episodes of Hypnosis Mic. Like, I think the top 2 groups for me is Buster Bros and Fling Posse. I really like both of those groups. I love, like, just their dynamics in terms of, like, their relationships with each other, but also the way that their raps fit together. I just think it's really aesthetically pleasing to the ears. And, you know, I will say this about Hypnosis Mic, every single character is super cute. Every single character is attractive. So, like, no matter which Hypnosis Mic character you will, you know, fall in love with and simp for, you're gonna just fall in love and simp for a really cute guy. So, you know, definitely, they have that going for them, you know, all the entire Hypnosis Mic series. But Zen's just, he's a romantic, he's very sweet, he just wants a girlfriend, you know, he wants to be there for his significant other, whoever that may be, regardless of his job and how much, you know, pressure it's gonna put on him. He wants to, you know, still come home to a loving significant other, and I really appreciate that. Now with Ichido, I mean, he's like 19, so he's pretty young, and he's still taking care of his younger brothers. Now, I don't know if I would personally, at least at this point in my life, if I want to be in a relationship with someone, I want it to be me and the other person. If we're going to take care of anything together, it's going to be, like, a pet. It's going to be my dog. We're going to take care of the dog. I don't want to have to co-parent, like, your younger siblings at this point. You know, just being honest. I mean, I feel like his brothers would kind of stay out of the relationship if he was in a relationship with somebody. But I also feel like they would kind of, you know, maybe want to take more of his time. And especially since they are in a rap group together and they're siblings, like, you know, again, I have my own sibling who was in his own relationship with his girlfriend, with another person. Like, you know, I understand that, you know, balancing family and your relationship sometimes it's hard. I totally understand that. And, you know, so you do gotta let your siblings or your children or whoever, like, you know, be on their own and be in their own relationship with that other person that they love and stuff and admire and cherish and, you know, that they want to be with for the rest of their lives or whatever, or if, you know, depending on where they are in their relationship, if they're married or if they're dating or whatever. But I feel like, you know, I can say that with confidence, with, like, my brother and stuff, because we're, you know, much older. We're in our, like, mid-late 20s. Whereas Ichido, he's, like, 19. His brothers are, like, 17 and 14 years old. Like, I don't know if I want to be taking care of, like, some teenagers right now. And, you know, let alone a baby or something like that as well. Plus, I don't, you know, Zen, I can come home to him or he can come home to me, and it's just the two of us. Plus the dog, probably. I would bring my dog into a relationship, because it's my child, my fur child. And it's a dog. It's not like it's a baby. It's not like a little kid. We don't have to take her to school or anything, and she just chills around the house. You know, I'm thinking of, like, long term. And, you know, I like young, you know, I don't mind being with a younger guy, but he's 19. He needs to have some life experience. So for that reason, I love Ichido, but I'm gonna pick Zen because I want to be in a more stable relationship, and I don't want to have to worry about him getting brainwashed. I mean, with Zen too, I gotta have to worry about him getting brainwashed also, but you know, Zen and I are closer in age, obviously. We're like the same age, and you know, he would definitely, once he comes home, put all of his focus on us and our relationship and everything. So I'm going to go with Zen for that one. Alright, next we've got... Have we done number 5 yet? No. Okay, we've got Albert from Moriarty the Patriot versus the defending champion. So we've got our defending champion, Kiro, who won the last Husbando bracket, versus Albert from Moriarty the Patriot. So it's Albert Moriarty. He's... the oldest Moriarty brother, and he's super hot, super attractive, super rich. You know, they're nobles in like the 1800s, and you got that versus our boy Kiro. He's an idol. He does dramas, he does movies, he writes music, plays, you know, instruments and sings, and he's got a really sexy alter ego. I mean, regular Kiro is also already really sexy and stuff, but then he's also, you know, Helios. So we got a little tsundere kind of personality there as well with Kiro. And I think that's also probably why he won last time, is because, you know, he's got that like dual personality, and I kind of enjoy that, especially because like Kiro's not usually the kind of character that I would normally go for. I mean, I go for all different kinds of characters, but yeah, Kiro really surprised me in terms of like who my favorite became in Mr. Love. But he, you know, I fell in love with him like first thing. As soon as he met him, I'm like, you know what? I love this dude's attitude. He's so nice. He's very sweet. He wants to help me out and help my production company. You know, he wants to help me, and he's a pop star idol kind of, you know, character, and he's very romantic. You know, he wants to show you a good time, and he's secretly the kinkiest one out of all of the boys. Don't fight with me on that, because it's true. It's definitely true. Now, compared to Albert, I honestly just go off of looks with this one with Albert, because he's super attractive. Like, I mean, okay, Louis and Moriarty, William James Moriarty, are also really attractive. Like, everyone in this show is hot, as you will learn later on, because I do have another character from Moriarty in here. But, I mean, both Albert and Kiro could possibly, like, think of crazy plots, or help in crazy plots to, you know, further their own agenda. Because, I mean, when Kiro is Helios, he's furthering the agenda of Black Swan. Even though he really doesn't want to do it. But, you know, if that's going to help protect us, the MC, then he's gonna have to do it. Even if, like, that means he has to be a jerk about it, or, like, you know, put us in danger or something like that. He's got to do it, if it means that we're gonna be safe, like, at all. Now, Albert, I'm not quite sure. Because William James Moriarty is actually the one pulling all the strings. Albert's just kind of, like, letting him do it because his family was terrible, and so he let William, you know, do those things because, you know, they have the same goal in mind in terms of, like, the nobles of, you know, our society are bringing down the, you know, common poor folk, and that's not right. But the way that they're handling it is, of course, you know, they're setting up these perfect crimes where, you know, the killer is easy to find, or it's really easy for them to not know who actually killed that person. They let the killer get away with it in exchange for, you know, okay, I will let you get your revenge on this person, but, you know, you can't tell anybody that it was me, and, you know, that way, you know, they'll never find out that it was you, and, you know, we can all go, you know, live our happy separate lives. But, you know, but at least, like, with Kiro, he still has that sweet side, you know, his normal Kiro side, and, you know, he's always, you know, promising that, you know, he, you know, wants to do more things with you as the MC, and he wants to protect you, but he's also, you know, like I said, he's very, like, he can be very straightforward and blunt with, like, what he actually really wants, whether it's, like, romantically, like, kissing, or, you know, what have you after that. So, for that reason, I'm gonna pick Kiro. You know, he's gotta defend his title. I do like Albert, you know, he's very attractive. Would definitely want to dance with him at a party or something. But I don't know. I don't know if I could be in a relationship with him, because I don't want to be caught up in all of this, like, murder mayhem kind of stuff with the Moriarty brothers. So we're gonna pick Kiro. 14. Okay, so we got number 14, which is Sherlock Holmes from Moriarty the Patriot. I'm the biggest simp for this character. Like, after just one episode of him showing up, I hooked. I love him. Probably one of my favorite interpretations of Sherlock. For sure. Let's go. Who's number 3. Okay, so we've got Kurono Soma from Fruits Basket. My sweet bird boy. My sweet bird boy. Okay, so we've got Sherlock Holmes versus Kurono Soma. So we'll start with Sherlock. His, like, pros and everything. It's Sherlock Holmes. Like, how cool is that? I love this character design. I think he, like, again, like I said, everybody in Moriarty the Patriot looks fucking incredibly attractive and hot. Sherlock is no exception. You know, I've watched the BBC Sherlock series, you know, watched the Robert Downey Jr. movies and stuff. So, you know, I've seen several interpretations of the Sherlock character that I really enjoy, and I really quite enjoy this interpretation of Sherlock. You know, he's got that, you know, attitude. He's very, like go-getter kind of attitude when he's, like, you know, on the case, trying to figure out, like, who's done it, like, what's going on. I love his relationship with John and Lestrade. Like, I just think it's always fucking hilarious to see just how crazy Sherlock can get in any version, you know, when it comes to helping out Lestrade and Scotland Yard, and, you know, working with John, and of course, you know, Mrs. Hudson, or in this case it's Ms. Hudson, in this version of the story. And of course, like, you know, he's the hot anime guy. I love the hair up. I love his, like, ring. I just like his aesthetic. Like, he just, like, they made him so attractive that it's like, I'm way more, like, I know he's supposed to be, like, the antagonist, basically, in this series, because the show is is about Moriarty. But I really, really enjoy Sherlock. Like, I want to watch him solve a case in front of me, because he's just so cool. Now, compare that to Kurono Soma, my sweet bird boy, from Fruits Basket. We finally got him in the anime this year, and I'm so happy. Like, he's one of my favorite characters of Fruits Basket. Now, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is my, like, definite number one first crush, within, Fruits Basket, for sure. One of my first anime crushes in general. But, when I read the manga, Kurono also, like, stood out to me, you know? He's just very sweet. He wants to, you know, go out and do things, but he can't because Akito is keeping him away from everyone else. But also, you know, he's kind of, like, trapped where he is. So when he meets Arisa, or Uo-chan, like, his whole world changes, and I just absolutely love their relationship. Like, I love, like, just seeing them both, like, fall in love with each other, like, right away is just the cutest thing. I cried watching, like, literally every single Kurono-centered, I couldn't think of the fucking word, Kurono-centered episode, in season 2 of Fruits Basket, and I absolutely just, I want to give him a hug, because, you know, you can, as we found out at the very end of season 2, he cannot transform anymore, so, you know, he's okay to hug. We can give him a hug, and tell him that everything's gonna be okay, and, like, you just want him to be happy, especially since he's always around Akito, like, you know, having to, you know, be very sheltered when he doesn't need to be. Like, he can leave anytime he wants, but he chooses not to because, you know, like, Akito begging him not to leave after his curse broke. You know, one, he pities Akito, but also, you know, it's kind of like this is the only world that he knows, so it's much more safe and comfortable. So, like, when he does break out and, you know, meets Uo-chan, and he, like, falls in love with her, like, first sight, pretty much, and they, you know, spend time together. Even the one time they go out and have lunch together, like, he's just, like, so enamored and focused on her that when she gets upset with him, he kind of is, like, you know, confused and everything. So, yeah, I definitely feel like, you know, you definitely want to help him. Like, I just wanted to see him happy. Now, with Sherlock, you know, I can definitely enjoy watching him solve a case and stuff in front of me. But in terms of, like, a relationship, I don't think Sherlock would be a good person to have in a relationship. Just because, like, he's way too focused on, like, solving cases. And he's, like, never really interested in, like, wanting to be in a relationship with, like, anyone, let alone any woman. At least, like, from, you know, watching, like, BBC Sherlock, he's definitely, you know, pretty asexual. I mean, the movies, like, the Guy Ritchie movies with Robert Downey Jr. and stuff, I mean, they're pretty, like, kind of set him up, a little bit. In terms of, like, this version of Sherlock, yeah, I don't think he's very interested in that kind of relationship. So, because of that, oh god, my pen. I am going to go with Kurono on this one. Gotta give my bird boy some love. Next up, we're going to do number 15, which is Joker / Ren from Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal. I put him on here because I've been replaying Persona 5 Royal, and I just, you know, have fallen back in love with the game, but also with Joker himself. And yes, I know that the anime is, like, kind of trash in terms of, like, the animation and stuff, but the English dub, like, saves it, and I love Xander Mobus' performance as Ren so much that I had to put him on here. Because, of course, you know, I mean, come on, he's, like, the prettiest Persona protagonist out of all of them. In my opinion, he's the prettiest one. So, you know, he's definitely a good boy. Plus, you know, I mean, he can romance his damn teacher, the doctor, you know, women way older than him, so, you know, yeah, okay, and, he's gonna be going up against Makoto from Free. Now, yes, I know nothing Free that has come out that's new lately, but I wanted to put another sports boy in there, and we did not do Makoto last time, I don't think, so I'm gonna put him in here. He's my favorite, boy from Free. He's just so nice. He's very, like, level-headed. He's really tall. He's the one who does the backstroke. And, you know, he looks good in a bathing suit. I mean, all the boys in Free look good in bathing suits. It's like half the show is, like, you know, that good fan service stuff. But also it's a good story. Like, that's the thing that I really like about Free, is the story is good. I like that it goes over all these different relationships in terms of these friends that used to swim together all the time that are just, you know, trying to maintain these friendships while they continue to swim with and against each other as they go through high school and eventually, like, in college. So, compare both of them. Well, both of them are very steadfast and very smart. They're both, like, the leaders of their groups because, you know, Makoto is the captain of the swim club, and Joker is the leader of the Phantom Thieves. I mean, Joker can use different personas, so that's pretty cool. He can, you know, go into the metaverse or into a palace and infiltrate and, you know, change someone's heart. While Makoto, I mean, you know, he can kind of change your heart in that way too, I guess. You know, he's just a really good friend. He wants all of his friends to succeed. He just wants everybody to get along and be cool with each other. But he also, like, has a goal in mind. You know, he wants to become, like, a swim instructor. At least in like the first and second seasons. I can't remember. I haven't finished season 3, honestly, so I don't remember exactly like if that comes to fruition or not. I don't quite remember, but I mean, when he's in college, I do remember he is still very much, like, focused on... I think he does want to become, like, a swim coach, but more for, like, the Olympics, instead of teaching kids to swim, like he wanted to before. So I believe, if I'm wrong, you can correct me in the comments, nicely, please. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he kind of decides to do instead, which, again, I think is a very good goal. It's a really great goal. It's definitely, like, a long-term goal, and, you know, he's definitely kind of come into his own as a person, especially now that, like, the characters are, like, all in college, technically, at this point. So, you know, he's definitely on the right path to getting a really good job for the rest of his life, and still getting to do what he really likes to do. Now, Joker, on the other hand, I mean, he's still in high school, and, I mean, but it's cool. You can say you're dating one of the Phantom Thieves. Like, how cool is that? And, I mean, he finishes his probation, like, you know, you get to finish your probation in the game, you know, everyone kind of bands together, become really good friends, we even help see him off, take him back home to his, you know, hometown. Like, you know, I just think it's really nice, you know, he's just a really good guy, and, you know, it's kind of like, you know, in the future, if they ever need the Phantom Thieves again, you know, he'll definitely be there to help people, and, you know, I do like his various relationships with the different Phantom Thieves. I love how good of a friend he is, and of course I love the romance kind of relationships. Not all of them, I haven't done all of them, but the ones I have done, he's a very good boyfriend. You can make him be an extremely good boyfriend. He's very good boyfriend material. Now, is he good husbando material? I don't know, because he's still in high school, and Makoto is like now an adult in college, you know, almost out of college. And again, he knows what he wants to do with his life. So I feel like if he got into a relationship with somebody, it will be a very good, stable relationship, and he could live together. He has a good job. You know, if you're also like a student, or maybe you have your own job as well. Maybe if I had my own job and we lived together, or if I was in school again or something like that, I think it would still be a very good dynamic relationship, you know? We can definitely go out together and have some fun, maybe travel together, especially if he does become like an Olympic level coach. Definitely think, you know, you'd be able to travel the world, you know, scout different people to swim for you, or maybe people from other countries will see how great he is and like want him to be their swim coach or something, you know. So I definitely think I'm gonna go with Makoto on this one. I love Joker, but I feel like he needs to grow up just a little bit. Just a little teeny bit. So that means the last ones in this first bracket is gonna be Dimitri from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Both Timeskip and pre-Timeskip, doesn't really matter because I love Dimitri either way. Versus Daisuke Kanbei from Balance Unlimited. Now we've got a king versus rich boy. Like unlimitedly rich boy. So they're, you know, they both got their pros in terms of like, you know, being very powerful people. So, alright, we'll start with Daisuke, because Three Houses has been out for like over a year, and Balance Limited came out this year in 2020. So I want to talk more about that first, and then Three Houses. So we've got Daisuke. He's a millionaire detective. He has an unlimited amount of wealth. He's extremely rich, and he's very smart. So that's why he's a detective. Really, he's just a detective, so he can figure out the mystery of like who murdered his mother. But you know, he's also, you know, extremely blunt. And he can be kind of, you know, he might not get too many, like, social cues. That's why, you know, you've got Haru there to help him, you know, kind of figure out and, you know, act more like a human being, I guess, like a normal person. That's why I really loved the episode when Daisuke did not have his wallet with him and had to kind of, like, live frugally like a normal person like Haru. For, like, a day or two. I loved that episode. That episode was great. So I definitely really like that he's rich. He can buy you anything that you want. In the first episode, he freaking buys a car from some, like, prince from some other country, like, and it's just like, here, I'll just, you know, we'll just, you know, I'll pay for it. Here you go. Here's the money. And this dude just kind of lets him take and buy his car, which was, like, crazy. Loved that. Loved that scene. Compared to Dimitri, I mean, it's Dimitri. He's gonna become the next king of Fargus. Like, he's very sweet as a student, when he's your student. I mean, you're all the same age. Well, we're technically the same age, because Byleth's age is never actually stated. But you can kind of, like, figure out that, well, you know, Byleth is probably the same age as, like, the students at the school. Roughly the same age, around the same age. Whatever. As Dimitri. In post-time skip, or pre-time skip, I'm pretty sure he's, like, 18 or 19 years old. And then, like, post-time skip, he's, like, 20-something, 23, 24, probably. Whatever. It doesn't matter. He's hot both ways. It's fine. I love pre-skip Dimitri, because he's extremely, like I said, he's extremely sweet. You know, he just wants to do what's right in terms of what's going on with everything in Fodlan, especially when it comes to his friends. You know, he really cares for the entire Blue Lions house, especially, like, Dedu. He cares about, you know, his childhood friends like Felix, Sylvain, Ingrid. You know, he cares about Edelgard, even though their relationship is kind of strange at times and can be very push and pull. You know, he cares about Claude. He cares about everybody. He cares about the monastery. He cares about you, or Byleth, if you know, don't change Byleth's name. You know, and he's just a good, sweet boy. Now, post-time skip Dimitri, at least at the beginning, if you've been watching my playthrough, you know how much I want him to stop ignoring me. Because I love him so much. I just want him to be happy. I want him to be happy with me. I want us to, you know, be together forever, because he's so passionate. And, like, the only reason he goes on this, like, killing spree rampage is because, you know, he's suffering from, like, basically, like, PTSD. He hears voices. Like, it's not until, you know, you come back and kind of snap him out of everything, and he kind of sees the realities of everything going on around him, that he is like, oh no, I have to stop thinking about just killing and revenge and killing so much. Like, there's got to be another way to go about doing this and to stop this war. And, like, just him, when you retake Ferdiad, the capital of Fargus, when you retake Ferdiad in the Blue Lions route, it's, like, the greatest thing ever, because, like, they thought he was dead, and then he came back and reclaimed the kingdom capital. And nobody, you know, they were all told that he was a traitor and that he was murdered. And when he comes back and he's like, no, they're going to hate me. All of these citizens are going to, you know, they don't want me to be their king. Like, when he goes out and steps out and sees all of these people, they're cheering for him and applauding him and, you know, being grateful, like, their king is here, or, you know, the prince who's going to be king is here. It's, like, the greatest fucking thing ever. It's so good. It's the best. It's so good. And I love his relationship with Byleth if you do decide to marry him. So it's like, it's quality. It's like S tier quality story writing and relationship building. And that's why I love the Blue Lions and why I love Dimitri the most out of all of our Fire Emblem Three Houses characters. Now, in terms of Dimitri versus Daisuke, again, they're both very powerful. You know, I could definitely get whatever I wanted if I was in a relationship with both of them. Maybe Daisuke a little bit more, because, like, you know, he could just pay for it in 2 seconds and it'll get there. Whereas with Dimitri, it's like, oh, I probably gotta wait, because we live in, like, a kingdom, we gotta wait for a messenger, like, there's no internet, just, you know, we're in this specific time where it's like, if I needed something or wanted something, I have to kind of wait a little bit for it, but, you know, he could still get it for me. So, you know, whatever. And you know what? With the Fire Emblem universe, at least with Three Houses, it's like, you know, what I really want is to just be with that other person more than anything at the end of the day. With Daisuke, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I would have to question whether he actually, like, loves me, or, like, is he just doing this for fun? Like, I would have to, like, you'd have to pinpoint and really figure out if he really does, like, have feelings for you or not. So, because of that reason, like, because he's very hard to figure out, I feel like I'm gonna go with Dimitri. Okay, we have number 4, who is now decided as Kiro, versus number 5, who is now Diavolo. Oh no! Okay. So now it's Kiro versus Diavolo. Now, okay, when comparing these two, now we're getting to the nitty-gritty, so we're comparing these two together. So we've got Kiro versus Diavolo. Oh no. Now, Diavolo can give me the whole Devildom Kingdom. Kiro can give me the world. And traveling and everything. I mean, Diavolo is kind of set, and, well, not set, he's not stuck in the Devildom. Like, we can travel between all 3 worlds if we wanted to at any time. But I feel like it would be something where it's like, well, we're gonna have to figure out when that's gonna happen, because Diablo's always doing paperwork. Even when Lucifer helps him. Whereas Kiro, I feel like it's easier to travel a lot with him, because, you know, he's probably traveling like every other week anyway. So, you know, you get to travel a lot more with Kiro, I feel like. Diavolo, you definitely have more, like, he's more set in, like, being sweet all the time. Because I even feel, you know, he's definitely, like, daddy levels of, like, you know, that side, you know, nightlife, I guess, if I want to, you know, not be too graphic. So he's definitely, I feel like, you know, there are times when he can be very, like, dominating and stuff, but I feel like most of the time he just kind of wants to be chill, have a good time, relax, not be as, like, again, dominating as, like, say, maybe, like, Lucifer would be. In terms of just, like, their personality, because Diavolo is way more laid back than Lucifer definitely is, in terms of, like, them two, like, in terms of being demons. But compared to Kiro, I mean, I think they're both very laid back, very, like, chill. I feel like Kiro is more, I feel like it just determines who do I want to be with more. Now, Kiro's got the Helios thing going for him as well. So that's kind of, like, that's, you know, adds a little bit of, like, bonus points. But Diavolo is also, like, the size of a tree, and I would be able to climb him, like, he could carry me. And man, because I love Kiro and I love Diavolo, but I think I love Diavolo, but I'm gonna go with Kiro again. I just feel like it's there's more in the relationship. I feel like it's more adventurous to be with Kiro, because again, he could be Kiro or Helios. Whereas with Diavolo, it's like, what you see is what you get. I feel like, even when, like, you kind of get to know him more, he's still very much the same person that you see, like, around everybody else, I feel like. And in terms of, like, being alone with him, I have to learn a little bit more about Diavolo. So, I'm gonna have to go with Kiro on that one. Next, Dimitri versus... Oh, Makoto. Okay. Alright, so we've got Dimitri versus Makoto. Alright, so I don't think this is a very fair matchup in terms of who I want to pick, because I already want to pick Dimitri, like, right off the bat. I love Makoto, obviously. Like, he's got a steady job. He would take care of you. It would be a very nice, very sweet relationship. Very, like, you know, easy to understand. Like, I don't think we would fight too much about anything. Whereas, like, I don't think I would fight too much with Dimitri either, but I kind of like this, like, unknowing kind of thing in terms of, like, what's gonna happen. Because Dimitri's the king, basically, at the end of the Blue Lions route. He becomes the king. So it's like, now he's, like, way more, like, important, and, like, now he's gonna be, like, really busy, not only, like, running the kingdom, but like running the soldiers, like the military, he has to, you know, be diplomatic and work with all like the different lords and stuff, of people who, you know, see over the different territories and whatever. And it's just, you know, I think that's more exciting than just living with Makoto in, you know, a little apartment. And yeah. So I love Makoto, but you know what? I'm gonna go with Dimitri. You know, it's kind of a no-brainer there, honestly. Alright, next we've got Zen versus Kurono. Okay, this definitely is kind of hard because it's like, who do I want to save more, Kurono or Zen? Because you have to, I feel like to a certain extent you have to save Zen too, in terms of like save him from this feeling of like pressure, but also like societal pressure and, you know, his family. They both got family issues pretty much. Kurono, I mean, you know, really you just have to kind of save him from Akito's grasp. Whereas Zen, it's like, you have to keep it a secret, because he's an idol, basically. He's like idol level status, basically. And he's really popular, and he has a bunch of fans. And Kurono is more just like a regular dude, you know, he's got a regular job. Eventually, I feel like you can get him out of that environment in terms of like being trapped, you know, with Akito, always being close to Akito all the time. Whereas Zen, I mean, you know, he wants to have a lifelong career. So, you know, up to a certain point, I think it would be really hard because you'd have to keep your relationship a secret with Zen. Up to, you know, a certain point where, you know, it's like, okay, it's probably okay if, you know, secretly he gets married and you know, we can be together and have kids and then people find out after it happens and stuff. But it's like, I don't know how long I want to wait for that. Like, sometimes it's like, I want to be vocal. I want to, you know, be able to say I'm in a relationship with this person. And I feel like it's a lot easier to do it with Kurono, you know, believe it or not. Because, you know, after a certain point, once he can kind of, like, get out of that environment with Akito, then he can kind of, like, live a normal life and, you know, be, you know, okay with who he is and stuff. So, for that reason, I love you, Zen. I love you so much. One of my favorites. But I'm gonna go with Kurono, because I feel like it's a little bit easier to maintain a relationship with him. Like, literally, like, I really do think it's a lot easier. Whereas with Zen, you know, again, I don't like keeping secrets. I don't know if I would want to keep it secret for too long. So yeah, there we go. Alright, now we've got Lucifer versus Timeskip Asahi from Haikyuu. Again, this is another one where it's like, this is not fair because I'm already gonna pick Lucifer. I love Timeskip Asahi. Again, you know, I do love Asahi. He's a good boy. You know, I would definitely love to travel the world with him. But with Lucifer, I can definitely do that way easier than I could with Diavolo. So I'm gonna pick Lucifer. I could definitely be with Lucifer. We're in the semifinals here. Kiro versus 4, which is Kurono. Okay. So I'm going to have to go with Kiro versus Kurono. I'm going to pick Kiro because while I do think it's easier to maintain that relationship with Kurono, or I feel like it's going to be easier to be in a relationship with Kiro than it is with Zen in terms of like the idol kind of thing, because Kiro's like an international superstar, so we can go anywhere we want. With Zen, he's really just popular in Korea. So I don't even know if it's within the entire country. I feel like it's just within the area that they live in. Because he's working his way up to, like, national, like, fame. But with Kiro, I mean, he's internationally popular. I feel like it's a lot easier to go somewhere with Kiro alone and not get found out and stuff, because he has, like, the experience of being Helios and stuff, and, like, he can kind of, like, manipulate, like, how everything works. So I definitely think Kiro is my winner here. But now it's Lucifer versus Dimitri, and I don't know who to pick, because I love both of them. Because you have the King of Fargus versus Lucifer. He's not the king of the Devildom, but he's definitely the most powerful demon in the Devildom, for sure. So, with that, I love you, Dimitri. I love you so, so, so much, but I'm gonna have to go with Lucifer. you knew it was coming. You knew it was gonna have to be Lucifer versus Kiro. Kiro's a defending champion, and Lucifer is just coming in here as my new man, my newest love. Now this is hard because I have commissions for both. I've had commissions done of for both these characters, of me and these two characters, me and Kiro, and of me and Lucifer. And I just, because on one hand you've got Kiro, he's sweet, a sweet boy, but Lucifer can also be very sweet. Like, I don't think I've really talked too much about Lucifer because I just keep picking him. But like, now I can really talk about Lucifer. He's extremely smart. He's very quiet and very stoic, and he can be very serious, but when you're alone with him, and you get to, and like, you know, it's further within the game of, within the story of Obey Me, I feel like Lucifer definitely opens up to you, a lot, more than he would anybody else, and he's just so romantic, and I absolutely love that he's not afraid to, like, kiss you or hug you when you're alone, and he's not afraid to be very protective of you in front of the others, and, you know, he likes spending time with you. He finds finds time out of his day to ask how you're doing, or, like, you know, see if you want to, like, have tea with him or eat something with him or spend time with him in his room and listen to music, or go shopping with him, or go to the amusement park when you can go to the amusement park. You know, it's definitely very sweet and intimate, especially with, like, the play that you put on later on in the show, or in the game. You know, you have to, like, you play, you know, opposite leads against, you know, with Lucifer, and, you know, like, that was very, you know, intimate and very, like, personable. Whereas with Kiro, it's like, I mean, you know, we can do things together and work on projects together, but, you know, you, like, as the MC, you're always going to be the producer. You're never actually going to be in it with Kiro, unless it's, like, the wedding photo shoot card, which, you know, Obey Me also had one of those too. And with Kiro, he's a lot busier. Like, sometimes he's not around, and you can, you know, sometimes if you know, I definitely get the feeling, like, sometimes if you do, like, message him, like, text him or try to call him, like, he's not gonna answer. Whereas with Lucifer, I feel like Lucifer would definitely answer your text as, like, immediately as possible, and answer your phone call immediately as possible, because, like, that's just like how Lucifer is. Like, he wants things to go smoothly and go perfect, to the point where he can kind of, he micromanages a lot, which is not a good thing. So I also feel like being in a relationship with Lucifer, you can kind of, like, ease him out of being, like, super micromanaged all the time and, like, relax more. So I definitely think, you know, Kiro, you defended your title well. Definitely defended your title well. But we're gonna have to go with Lucifer is my new number one husbando in the new husbando bracket for this. So congratulations, Lucifer. You have definitely earned your spot as my number one husbando in this new husbando bracket. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Have fun, stay safe. Happy 12 days of anime. Bye!